Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mystic's Table. Today we will be doing session 6 of our Ironsworn campaign. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll do a quick recap. So for session 5, uh, Albrun, Hinion, which is one of Kinara's supporters, and a few other of the Grimbrook villagers that supported Overseer Kanara, um, successfully stole the saddlebags off of those four horses that were with the horsemen when they came in to Grimbrook. And in those saddlebags, there was food, there were a few weapons, well made weapons, but only a few of them. So, and a few pieces of armor. So, to tally all that up, that means we have about four Kinara supporters in Grimbrook that are now armed, which is much better than what we had at the beginning of last session, where there was only those two guards that were there to support Kinara. So that is definitely a plus for Kinara's situation. We also were able to buy Kinara some time. I believe she has 10 days, and actually we're gonna change that to 10 nights because the reason was the full moon. We made up some lie about mystic whatever and convinced the council people that a good trial should happen under the full moon so that the moon's light can reveal the truth or whatever hoopla. They bought it. So we bought Kinara 10 nights. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and write that down. 10 nights until trial. Okay, so we have basically a miniature progress track that I'm just going to try to keep track of as our sessions go on, just so that we can be aware of that kind of background plot that's going on since we are planning on leaving Grimbrook. So, yes, we stole those saddlebags. We were able to feed a few people, get them armed, get a few like leather pieces of armor on them. And Hinion, who is basically the leader of this would-be revolt that we were able to stop because it would have been suicide. Um, Hinion is like the de facto leader of the Kanara supporters right now, and he agreed that he would not attempt to revolt until at least until we get back. And even then, we can probably convince him to not do it. I don't know. We'll see what the situation is like when we get back. But so he's going to wait on us. That gives us 10 nights. And I'll say on the 10th night, that's when the trial's happening. So really 9 nights in a day. Okay, so we have that. And then we also have this journey. Oh my gosh, I remember now. We have this journey that we've been trying to take. And it was crazy. It was crazy. We had a good hit. I think it was a weak hit on our Sojourn, but since we had a bond with the community, we had a +1 on Undertake a Journey, to get out of there. And it just didn't work out. We failed twice, if I remember correctly. The first time we were leaving, we made it barely out of Grimbrook when we felt our magic kind of fading with all the like wards and stuff that we had casted back on those people who were sick. As I've said in numerous sessions now, Albrun has never received any type of formal training with his magic. He doesn't have a single mark. And I guess I should get into the world building. If you haven't read the rule book of Ironsworn, just to share a detail, elder mystics, so like mystics that have really been in their craft for a while now and really understand magic and rituals and stuff, they have like a bunch of tattoos on them, and each one of those tattoos represents basically a ritual that they have mastery over. So Albrun doesn't have a single tattoo, um, which basically means that he's not trained at all. So we had casted those wards, and in our naivety, in our I don't know the word for it, in our just not being trained, we didn't cast the wards properly the first time. And so as we had left Grimbrook, All of that like healing magic kind of stuff that we were able to do for the people of Grimbrook definitely started like waning and diminishing, and we could feel it. We could feel it the further we went, and so we actually turned back around, went back to Grimbrook, recasted those wards, did a better job this time. I'm pretty sure that means that shouldn't happen again. I don't know. I guess we'll see where the dice takes us. And then before we could leave the second time, that's when that revolt with Hinion showed up, and the dude tried to go take on the horsemen's and the guardsmen with, I think it was 3 of them with farmer tools. And Albrun was able to react with edge and get there quick enough and was like, no, 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 let's not do that. Okay, so those are those complications resolved. We're going to try to undertake a journey yet again. This is our 3rd time trying to get out of Grimbrook. I just really want to get out of Grimbrook. Like, I am so sick of being stuck here. So hopefully 3rd time's a charm. We're going to go ahead and roll undertake a journey plus wits, so that's plus 2. I'm almost tempted to try to secure an advantage just so that we can get a +1 modifier on this. But I'm nervous about missing on secure advantage. So I think we're just going to roll undertake a journey and just try to get out of here. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, that's a 4 on the action die. +2 is a 6 versus a 4 and an 8. Okay, weak hit. I'll take it. After 2 straight misses, I'll take a weak hit. So on a weak hit, we reach a waypoint and mark progress but suffer 1 supply. So this was a dangerous journey, which means we mark 2 progress boxes. So that's 2 out of 10 boxes marked. And we... Wait a minute. Yeah, on a weak hit, reach a waypoint and mark progress but suffer 1 supply. Oh, crap. We're already at 1 supply. Oh my god. No. Guys, okay. We have to. Okay, we're at 0 supply, which means we have to mark unprepared again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Should we have tried to sojourn? You know what? No. We're running this back. You know what, guys? Nope, we're running this back. I specifically mentioned in these last couple sessions that we need to start burning our momentum. Hold on. Yeah, that was an 8 on the action die. We have 10 momentum. I'm turning that weak hit into a strong hit. I can't do this. I can't do this. So we're going to go down to 2 momentum. This is now a strong hit. So we marked our progress on a strong hit. On a strong hit, you reach a waypoint. And you can either make good use of your resources and mark progress, or you can move at speed, take +1 momentum, and suffer 1 supply. So we are just going to make good use of our resources. We are not losing supply. That was a strong hit. I'm so sick of this undertake a journey. Okay, so we've marked our progress. Let's reach a waypoint. Remember, we're heading northwest out of the havens and towards the deep wilds. So I think I will go ahead and roll, I think, on the location oracle so that we can figure out what this waypoint is. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I need to get much better with waypoints. I often, like, it's funny, like, we'll do an undertake a journey and I'll kind of like skimp out on the waypoint a little bit, but I'm gonna try to be a little bit better about that. So let's go ahead and get this oracle and see if we can't find a decent waypoint. So we're going to roll on the location oracle. That's oracle number 4. And see what happens. That's a 72. 72. A lake. Okay, that's interesting. So Albrun is making his way out of Grimbrook, finally. And he is... And this is definitely, at this point, this is definitely afternoon. All those delays we had is afternoon, creeping on evening. And so we go out and we're just heading out, and we are really determined to really try to get to the deep wilds. Everything feels good. We don't have that funny feeling that we did the last time with feeling our magic waning, so we can kind of assume that the wards worked this time and the people are going to be fine. And I say we're just going up and over the hills, and eventually we reach a lake. And if you remember correctly, the river that we used to get to the pillar, that thing was like really polluted from that pillar magic, whatever was going on. So we didn't have a lot of water. And Grimbrook, of course, took the brunt of that force wave, so they didn't have a lot of supplies to spare us. So I think this is actually a great opportunity to resupply, because I hate being at one supply, and I'm now kind of getting the hang of these mechanics, and I'm realizing that traveling with low supply, like with Undertake a Journey, is not a great idea, because if you miss, or even if you get a weak hit, you lose supply, and I am not trying to be unprepared again. So let's try to roll resupply, and I really, 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 really want a strong hit. So, okay, before I... should I try to secure an advantage before doing this? Make preparations to... what would we even do? Like, what... I think the supplies we need food, we need water. We could probably use a few pieces of maybe dry wood for torches, that kind of thing. So I kind of want to say we are gonna go out hunting a little bit. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we did get our short sword back from that guardsman when we left. I know I didn't mention it before, but I just kind of assumed. But yes, we are armed. We didn't leave without our short sword. I wanted to throw that in there. I'm trying to think if I should try to secure an advantage here. Like, what would Albrun even do to prepare to hunt? I mean, he doesn't really have many hunting skills. Would he attempt to use magic of some sort? Our invoke asset is not looking too good. Our track is at 2. So I do kind of want to go ahead and try to resupply our essence track eventually. This could be a good opportunity. You know what? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's just play around. So we're going to kind of rest a little bit here at this lake. And I think there's a couple of things I want to do. So I think first what Albrun is going to do, he's going to kind of take his pack off, set it by a rock, get a little bit close to the lake. He's going to kneel down. He's going to splash some water in his face. It feels refreshing, you know. Has he even slept yet? Yeah, he did sleep during the sojourn. He was able to sleep through the night. So he has slept. And he's just going to really try to collect himself. And I think he's going to be in a kneeled position, shoulders kind of relaxed back, hands folded in front of him. And he's going to close his eyes. And I think he's going to try to take a little bit of time to connect to nature, connect to the veil around him. And I think we're going to try to leverage our invoke asset here and see if we can't capture any mystical essence from this naturey place. You know, we are away from civilization. It's pretty peaceful here. So let's see what we can do. So let me just remind us what this asset says. When you consume the mystical energies of your surroundings, roll plus wits. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Roll plus wits. That's a +2. Okay. I really hope this is a strong hit. And I will remind you, our action die is going to determine how much essence we can add to our track. So we want a good high roll on our action die. Is that a 1? That's a 1 on the action die. Okay. 1 plus 2 is a 3. Oh, crap. And that's versus a 2 and a 6. So it's a weak hit. Oh my god. These dice do not like me today. Okay, so on a weak hit, we add the action die value to our essence track. So that's just +1. So now we're at 3 essence. Okay. But capturing these energies is harrowing. So we have to endure 2 stress. Oh god. Is this a good idea? Okay, so now we're down to one spirit. And we need to go ahead and roll the endure stress move. Hopefully we can try to bounce back from this. Maybe regain a little bit of spirit if we can. So let's roll endure stress. So we roll spirit or heart, whichever is higher. Our spirit is 1, and so we're going to roll heart, which is +2. Okay. What do we got? That's a 2 on the action die, a 5 on the action die. On the challenge dies, and then on the action die, we have a 5 + 2 is a 7. So this is a strong hit. On a strong hit, we can choose 1. Shake it off. If your spirit is greater than 0, you can suffer 1 momentum in exchange for 1 spirit, or you can embrace the darkness and take 1 momentum. We're going to take that spirit back. So we are... Ooh. Yeah, we are. We're going to go up to +2 spirit and then go down to +1 momentum. Ooh, that's not doing too good, but we're going to go ahead and do that. So while Albrun is sitting there knelt by this lake, he is attempting to connect to nature, and I think that the mystical energy, the mystical spirits in this place are not very happy. Maybe they're even agitated from that force wave that happened the day before. And so this mystical energy, maybe there's even remnants of that force wave from the Iron Pillar that has really like screwed the mystical vibes and stuff in this area. And so as Albrun takes that energy into himself, he doesn't get much, and it's not great. Like he can again feel that blood rushing in his ears and just feels like a sense of uncomfortableness. So yeah, that wasn't too good, but at least we have a little bit of essence. I don't know if that was worth it, guys. That might not have been a good idea. We'll have to keep that in mind in the future about leveraging our invoke asset and make sure we're not just doing it willy-nilly. Because I think we might have just taken an unnecessary hit to our spirit and our momentum for 1 essence. Like, I can't believe we rolled a 1 on the action die. That's so annoying. Okay. What I also want to do while we're here at this lake is I kind of want to go ahead and attempt to resupply. And I was rolling essence because I was hoping that maybe we could use a little bit of magic to help us secure an advantage to like hunt and stuff. But I think I actually want to save the little bit of essence that we have right now. So I'm going to scratch that idea, and I think we're just going to roll resupply. So it's a resupply. That's plus wits, so that's +2. Hopefully we can get a strong hit. Oh my god, another 1 on the action die? So that's a 3, because it's +2 wits first. Dang, are you serious? An 8 and a 6, it's a miss. On a miss, you find nothing helpful. Pay the price. Maybe we shouldn't have done anything. Maybe we should have just kept going. Oh my god. That's terrible. I think we're going to roll on the pay the price table because I honestly don't know what an obvious outcome for attempting to... yeah, and I really don't want to take... never mind. We're not going to roll on the table because I think I know what the outcome is. We spin... Albrun gets up, after that harrowing experience of trying to absorb those mystical energies. He attempts to go around, right, and resupply. He tries to, see if there's any fish in the lake, if there's any maybe small animals that he could possibly try to trap or chase. But all the animals are much too fast for him. He can't catch them himself. So they run away from him. He doesn't even have a bow on him, so it's not like he can try to shoot a bird or anything like that. So he wastes his time there, and then when he goes to try to refill his canteen with the lake water, I think he's gonna look a little closely towards the center of the lake and see some dead fish floating. And he's gonna realize that the force wave that came from the pillar, it did reach this lake, and so he kind of understands that this lake water is probably poisonous and will make him sick, so he doesn't refill his water. So he just wasn't able to resupply at all. And I think to reflect that, we're going to take a hit to the momentum just to show the amount of time that we wasted. And at this point it is evening, so the sun has set. Crap. I think we're going to keep going. I don't think Albrun's ready to sit down and try to make a camp yet. I think he wants to roll on undertake a journey, because we need to try to get out of this area so that we can resupply and maybe hopefully find a different lake or a different source of water. So we're going to roll undertake a journey plus wits, so that's +2. Okay, that's a 5 on the action die, +2 is a 7 versus a 5 and a 4. Okay, strong hit. So on a strong hit, we reach a waypoint, and then we can choose one. We can make good uses of our resources or move with speed. Of course, we are not going to screw over our supply right now, so we're going to make good uses of our resource and mark progress. So we are at 4 boxes now. And the way I see this is Albrun gets his pack. He sees that it's nightfall and he leaves the lake. He's going to go over more of the hills because we're still in the havens, get through some of these pine trees, get through, a lot of this tall grass. He's going to take his time. He's not going to rush too bad, because he definitely is starting to get a little tired now that it's getting closer to night, and he knows that his supplies are running low, so he's not trying to work himself to exhaustion. And let's see, we're going to roll on location again and see what the next waypoint is. Okay, 31. That is a tree. Okay, you know what? I'll say that's okay. That makes sense to me. We reached the tree line of the Deep Wilds. So we have made it through the havens. We are getting over these hills, and Albrun sees, in just a little bit of distance in front of him, he sees the beautiful trees of the Deep Wilds. These trees are just made, there's all types of trees. There's birch, there's oak, there's great oak, there's dark oak, there's still some pines from the havens mixed in there. There's just all types of trees. The Deep Wild, it's beautiful. And so he reaches the tree line, and he's going to go ahead and step in. Now, he is aware that the Deep Wilds is the home of the elves. He understands that. He has some experience with elves. I guess this is a good time to share a little bit of his backstory. It's a little bit of the backstory that I was holding back on in Session 0. But I think you guys remember when I mentioned Albrun was raised by a friend of his mother's who was not in Rockhaven when the Cataclysm went off all those years ago. She was in the woods, and she is actually an elf named Hulata. So Albrun was raised by an exiled elf for several years. So he knows a little bit about elvish culture and history and stuff. So he knows that this is the home of the elves. So he's not going to be surprised about that. And I think he's also going to, when he's stepping into these Deep Wilds, he's going to be very cognizant that this is not Ironlander land. Like, this is the land of the elves. This is the land of the beasts that live here within the Deep Wilds. Like, this is pretty much unclaimed, not unclaimed, but you know what I mean. Like, this is not tamed land. So he's going to be very cognizant of that, and I think he's going to also try to be respectful as he's making his way through here. Now, my question is, do we try to resupply? Do we attempt to resupply? Do we try to resupply here? Do we try to resupply? Oh, y'all. Oh, my gosh. Do we try to resupply? That is the question. It's like rolling any move is risky. That's the beautiful thing about Ironsworn, is that it doesn't matter how good your character is at a particular activity, what your stats are, there's always the chance to fail. That's something that is just by design for Ironsworn, just the way the mechanics work, is it's almost impossible. I think to guarantee yourself that you will not miss on a move, you have to somehow have a +10 modifier. And there's just no way. I've read through the assets, I've read through like secure advantage and stuff. I don't think there's any way to get that much plus. I don't think there's a way to get to +10 modifier unless you min-max the heck out of this game. Obviously we can't do that, not right now. I'm scared. I want the supply, but I am so scared to roll because the dice have not been very friendly to us. But we are at one supply and we still have about, I would say, like half of a journey to make. And I hate to be traveling with this one supply because we make one bad roll on Undertake a Journey and we have to mark unprepared again. And I really don't want to do that. So I think we're going to make it into this tree line, and Albrun is going to hope that hopefully the force wave didn't reach this far in, from all the way from the havens to the deep wilds. So hopefully that, the water sources are good and there can maybe even be some food, maybe edible plants. I think he would be familiar with some edible plants. So I think we are going to roll resupply again and hope for the best. So resupply is, I believe it's plus wits. Yes, it's plus wits. So we have plus 2 wits. So we're rolling plus 2. Okay, please. Strong hit. Come on. Okay, so 2 on the action die. Plus 2 is a 4 versus an 8 and a 3. Okay, that's a weak hit. On a weak hit, you can take up to plus 2 supply, but you suffer minus 1 momentum on each. Okay, we're at 0 momentum. We are at 0 momentum. And I'm pretty sure nothing bad happens with the momentum until you get to -6. That's when I think when you get to -6, that's when you have to mark some sort of disability or something like that. Guys, I think I want the supply. I hope this isn't a mistake, but I think we're gonna go down 2 momentum and take the plus 2 supply. So we're gonna go down to -2 momentum, and we're gonna go back up to 3 supply. I hope that's not a mistake, but I just hate being at that 1 supply. So Albrun makes it into the tree line, and he is able to recognize some of the foliage in the deep wilds in this forest, and he's able to collect some leaves, maybe some berries as well, and he puts them in his pack. He finds a nice small little creek that's just kind of, skimping by, and he is finally able to refill his canteen and takes a nice swig of water. So he's feeling a little bit better for sure. Yeah, okay. So he's feeling pretty good. So we are going to undertake a journey again. So we have just made it into the tree line. Again, we're trying to head a little bit northwest, so we don't need to go too deep into the deep wilds, just because if Overseer or former Overseer Karina, if her information is correct, this Mattick character, he's in the deep wilds but on the edge, so we shouldn't have to go too deep into the deep wilds. So we are going to roll Undertake a Journey once more, plus wits, so that's plus 2, and see if we can't get a little bit closer. What boxes are we at? We're at 4. Okay, yeah, we're at 4 boxes, 4 out of 10. That's a 1 on the action die. I swear these dice are weighted. Why do I keep rolling 1s? There's no way. I feel like these dice must be... I might have to switch these dice out, y'all. Because this is crazy. We got a 1 on the action die. That's plus 2 is wits. So that's a 3 versus a 7. And a 5. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. That's a miss. On a miss, you are waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price. And you know what, guys? I think I know what the price is going to be. I think I know what... Okay, let's not sob too much. I think I know what the price is going to be. And I actually planned for this a little bit. So I printed out some the Delve worksheet, because I do own the Delve supplement, and I've never used it before. And I think what the pay the price is going to be is that as we are walking through the edge of the deep wilds here, turns out that this place is very dense and very wild. And so we are actually going to make this a delve site, and I think we're going to make it a Wild Tanglewood. So it's not going to be an easy walk in the park, just traveling, walking through the forest. We're going to have to go through a delve site. So, okay, I hate the miss, but at least it gives us the opportunity to use delve for the first time. So let me familiarize myself with delve. So the first thing you do when you find a site is you use the delve move, discover a site. Okay. So see, let me get my supplement book here. So that's page 19 of delve. So we discover a site. Okay. So when you resolve to enter a perilous site in pursuit of an objective, choose the theme and domain which best represents its nature, and give it a rank. We're gonna give it a rank. Do I want to give it a rank of dangerous? I almost want to go easy on myself and make it troublesome since it's our first delve. And we made it here to the deep wilds, and I assume, and like Kanara said, this dude lives on the edge of the deep wilds, so I can't imagine we're going too deep into there. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna cut myself some slack. We've been rolling so terribly these last couple of rolls that I feel like we're gonna take it easy on ourselves, and we're gonna make this a troublesome delve. Yeah, we're going to make this a troublesome delve. I assume that this Mattick person can't be too far now that we've actually made it to the deep wilds. So this is troublesome. And that means troublesome is, I believe, 3 boxes. So it's 3 boxes per area. Okay. We need to give this thing a name. So I think we're going to call this... Mattick's Tanglewood. Because that's where we are at. I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. We're at Mattick's Tanglewood. Okay. Objective is to locate Mattick. Okay. And then the theme and domain... hold on, I need to familiarize myself with this. So I already kind of preemptively thought about what I would do in this situation, and I'm already thinking it's going to be a Wild Tanglewood, but I can't remember which one is theme and which one's domain. So again, this is my first time, so let me just go ahead and try to find this. So we're going through theme right now, and it looks like theme is Tanglewood. Okay, so theme, or no, sorry. Wait a minute. We're going through... Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Yeah, domain is Tanglewood. Okay. And the theme is supposed to be wild, if I remember correctly. So we need to find... Yep, here we go. Wild. Okay. So we have a Wild Tanglewood. So let's go ahead and take note of that. So the theme is wild. And the domain is a Tanglewood. Okay, so now we have to come up with the denizens of this place. We don't have to fill in every single box here on the denizen sheet. I don't know if you can see this, but that's a lot of boxes. If I remember correctly, you're allowed to just kind of fill in the stuff that you assume would be there, and then if you end up rolling one of the empty boxes, you can just come up with something. So I think for our very common enemy here, I imagine... Well, you know what? Hold on. Let's just take a look and make sure that we can see what enemies the Ironsworn rulebook kind of provides for you. So I'm thinking wolves. I think wolf sounds about right. Right? Okay, so... Yeah, so I think very common can be wolves, right? Yeah, wolves. I just feel like wolves are kind of scary. I don't want to run into any wolves, but I don't. I think that makes the most sense. Wolves is very common. Okay. And then for our common enemy here, um, I want to say common might be. Let's see. We're on the edge of the Tanglewood, so a boar would a, does a boar make sense to be in the Tanglewoods? Yeah, we'll go with a boar. Okay, and then for our first uncommon, I think I'm definitely gonna go with elves. That definitely makes sense. We are here in the deep wilds, and I think elves would be. And I will say that since we're on the edge, that's why I'm making elves uncommon instead of common, because I don't think elves would be necessarily patrolling the border of the deep wilds. It's not like there's like a war or anything going on. And then for rare, I think for rare we might go with elder beast. So we won't specify what kind of elder beast. It'll probably be an elder wolf or an elder boar. That sounds about right. Um, yeah, so elder beast. Okay. Oh, and you know what? Actually, guys, I also wanted to. I'm gonna add in a custom enemy here, and a custom denizen. And I kind of pre-wrote this a little bit. So one of the custom denizens is going to be um, simulcrums that Mattick has created. These are like golems, like magical, like golem thing kind of things that Mattick has created as a mystic that help him protect his home. Because if we remember Kinara's, um, what's her name? Kinara's description, Mattick is rude and he does not like guests. So I would say he is pretty protective of his home. And so he has these mystical golems that protect his home and follow his commands. So these are simulcrums, and I'm actually taking that from one of the assets that the game provides. So I'm going to mark that as an uncommon enemy here, simulcrum. Okay, so we have a few of the enemy stuff decided. If we roll one of those empty spaces, we will fill it in as needed. Okay. Cool. Okay, we discovered a site. Okay, so what's next? So once you discover a site, you delve the depths. That sounds about right. Okay. So, okay, yeah. Okay, I think that sounds about right. Okay, so we're going to delve the depths. So when you traverse an area, wait a minute. Are we supposed to mark a progress track? Oh yeah, the progress track is on the delve worksheet. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm just so used to undertake a journey, but this is separate. Okay, and this was a troublesome delve. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so when you traverse an area within a perilous site, envision your surroundings, then consider your approach. So I would say our surroundings. So as Albrun is making his way through the deep wilds, after he crossed through the tree line, the trees are starting to get a lot thicker, a lot bigger, a lot taller. The branches are growing a lot lower, so Albrun is having to like duck his way through these branches and step over these huge roots. And there's like vines and stuff that's just like getting in his way, so it's definitely cumbersome. But there's a lot of green around, a lot of brown bark. Moss is on the forest floor. We are at night, so a little bit of moonlight is making its way through the tree branches, but not a lot. So it's kind of dark, and we can't see that far ahead of ourselves. I'm almost tempted to light a torch. No, we're not going to light a torch because we want to be careful. In the name of that, here on Delve the Dice, Delve the Depths, it says, then consider your approach if you navigate this area, blank, blank, blank. So this is, we can navigate it with haste, with stealth or trickery, or with observation, intuition, or expertise. I don't know if stealth is the right thing narratively. Like, Albrun is being careful as he makes his way here, but it's not like he's like camouflaged. You know what I mean? He's not like wearing like, a good camouflage and like, hiding behind trees and stuff. So I don't think it makes narrative sense to roll plus shadow as much as I would love to. So I think we're gonna do plus wits, which is we are navigating this area with observation, intuition, and expertise. I think that just makes the most sense right now. So we're going to roll plus wits on Delve the Depths. And hopefully it goes well. So this is a +2. That's a 4 on the action die. +2 is a 6. Versus a 6 and... oh my god, a 6 and a 6. What the flip? It's a miss with a match. Oh my god. And our momentum is awful, so we can't burn anything. Okay, on a miss, we have to reveal a danger. Okay. So when you encounter a risky situation within a site, envision the danger or roll on the following table. We're going to roll on the table because I'm just going to kind of let Delve Mechanics do its thing. So we're rolling on the table. That is a 43. 43. Check the domain card. Okay. So 43. Entangling plant life. Okay. Entangling plant life. So what does that mean in terms of reveal a danger? What does that mean? Okay, so perhaps as we are making our way through these vines that were hanging on these branches, some of these vines, I got it. Some of these vines, like as we like kind of push past them, like as Albrun like kind of tries to move some of these vines away like a curtain, the vines that he touched suddenly wrap around his arm as if they like had muscles, as if they're like tentacles. And they wrap around his arm, and all these other vines start coming at him. We're going to face danger. Okay, yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to face danger here. And we're going to face danger with... I wouldn't say this is with speed, because one of the vines already has us, so it's not like we can really like run away. I want to say that this is with iron. Aggressive action, forceful defense, strength, or endurance. So Albrun is going to... Yep, here's what we're going to do. Albrun is going to take out that short sword that he has at his hip, and he's going to attempt to try to cut the vine that has him by the arm. So we're rolling face danger plus iron. So that's +1. Not great, but it's what we have. Okay, so that's a 2 on the action die, +1 is a 3, versus a 4 and a 7. Okay, it's a miss. On a miss, you fail or your progress is undermined by dramatic or costly turn events. Pay the price. Okay. Do we roll and pay the price table? I guess we roll on pay the price table. I don't know. We're going to roll pay the price. 39. The current situation worsens. Okay, that makes sense. So these vines that has him by the arm, the other vines are coming from the trees, and they actually, these vines get at him, and they immediately wrap up his other arm. They go for his legs, and they even go for his torso. So now he is like completely restrained by these vines. And I think the explanation for this is that these vines are magical. These vines are enchanted. This is a tanglewood that basically belongs to a mystic. So, and we do know that Mattick has druid abilities of some sort, as he blesses the land in the havens. So I would say he's probably enchanted these vines to act as self-defense. So they almost have a life of their own, and that's how they're able to move like that. Okay. So what do we do? Where does that leave us? We're stuck? Are these vines going to start trying to constrict us, or are they just going to try to hold us here? Or, what's going to happen? We can't move. We have to get out of here. Do we roll face danger again? Do we roll secure an advantage? I don't know. What do we do? You know what? We have a little bit of magic. why don't we roll? Why don't we try to leverage our invoke asset, right? Why don't we try to leverage our invoke asset and see if we can't use a little bit of magic to escape? Because we can't use our sword. Our arms are restrained. Yeah, I think that's our move. Is we're gonna have to try to leverage invoke. So we're gonna roll invoke. I think this isn't face danger. I think this is secure an advantage, right? I think it is. I think it's secure an advantage. We're trying to turn the situation around. So we're gonna roll secure an advantage plus essence. We have 3 essence. Yep, let's do that. Okay, so we're rolling secure an advantage plus essence. Okay, that's a 6 on the action die. Cool. Plus 3 is a 9 versus a 1 and an 8. Strong hit. So when on invoke, let's see. On a strong hit. Okay, yep. Suffer -1 essence and take +1 momentum on a hit. Okay, so we're up to -1 momentum. We're down to 2 essence. And secure an advantage on a strong hit. You gain advantage. Choose one. We can take control and make another move now and add +1, or we can prepare to act and take +2 momentum. This is a hard choice because I almost want to take that +1 so we can delve the depths a little bit better once we get out of this. But I think we really need the momentum because we're in the negative. So we're going to take the 2 momentum. I think that's what we got to do. So we're going to get up to +1 momentum. I want to get out of the negatives. Okay, so let's get back into the fiction. So I think what happens is, so these vines have Albrun like crucified in the air. And I think what Albrun's going to do is he's going to like try to like concentrate his magic. He can feel that these vines are obviously magic in nature. Normal vines don't constrict you like this. And so he is actually going to try to release a bit of mystical essence throughout his arms, and what he's doing is he's raising the body temperature, and he creates just a tiny little bit of flame throughout his arms and his legs, and the vines immediately like release him, and it's like they like coil back as if they're in pain. Obviously they're plants, so they don't really feel pain, but it's like they feel pain, like they're somehow sentient or whatever. And so he's going to use that opportunity to run. And I almost feel like this is another face danger. Like I wonder if these vines, I mean, we didn't conjure enough. I mean, it's not like we conjured a bunch of fire. We just like released a little tiny bit. This is a minor mystical effect, right? So I don't know if these vines are out of commission right now, and I don't know if they would just let us walk away. So I almost want to roll face danger again. As much as I hate unnecessary rolling, I think this might be necessary just from a narrative perspective. So I think this is going to be face danger plus edge. We're going to try to run away and get away from these vines. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So this is face danger plus edge. So that's +1. Please. Please. Oh, and we pick up our sword. I forgot to mention that. We have our sword again. Okay, so this is a 5 on the action die. +1 is a 6 versus a 7 and a 6. Oh, it's a miss. Okay, face danger. On a miss, you fail. Your progress is undermined. Pay the price. Okay, I think the obvious thing here... We're going to have to pay some narrative price, I think, because we have taken too many hits to our tracks, and that's okay. So I think what the pay the price here is, we're running away, and these vines, they quickly recover. We didn't burn them too bad, and like they like snake after us like freaking snakes. Like slithering up at us, like shooting at us real quick. And Albrun, he's gonna keep running, but he's gonna kind of turn around, and he has his short sword. And as the vines are coming at him, he's gonna hack and slash at them while still running. But he's not that great of a swordsman. And what ends up happening is that the vines wrap around the sword and yank it from him. But he's able to kind of use that to buy him time and escape into the thick of the trunks and stuff, so he gets away from whatever these enchanted vines are. So we made it out, but to reflect the miss, we no longer have a sword. So Albrun's sword has been taken. He's unarmed. and we're not going to mechanically reflect that. But we don't have a sword, so that's something to keep in mind. In fact, actually, let me go ahead and take a note of that so we remember. Okay, so we lost our sword to these enchanted vines. That's definitely something to take note of. Okay, so I think next is we are going to delve the depths again. Oh, I almost want to do with Shadow. I think now that Albrun, you know what? I think now that Albrun understands that this Tanglewood, it is enchanted. Like, this is not a regular Tanglewood, and whoever this Mystic dude, this Mattick dude, he definitely does not like guests. He does not want visitors. I think Albrun is gonna move a lot more carefully through these woods, and he's going to kind of pay attention to the plant life, because now he realizes it's not even just animals, beasts, or elves that he has to worry about. He has to worry about the very trees, the very plants. So I think that's enough justification to roll with Shadow. So that's +3 Shadow. Yep, let's roll. +3 Shadow, delve the depths. That's a 6 on the action die, +3 is a 9, versus a 2 and a 3. Cool. Okay, so that's a strong hit. On a strong hit, you delve deeper, mark progress, and find an opportunity. Okay, finally, we mark some progress. Okay, so that's 3 boxes. This is the first bit of progress we've gotten to mark on this delve site. And we get to find an opportunity. So I'm going to roll on the find an opportunity table. Find an opportunity. So when you encounter a helpful situation or feature within a site. Well, wait a minute. Before we roll find an opportunity, let's go ahead and roll the Oracle for checking our surroundings. And I think, actually, instead of the Oracle, I think we're going to actually roll on the Tanglewood domain card. Right? Yeah, Tanglewood domain card. I think that's what we're going to do here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, Tanglewood domain card. We're going to roll on that real quick just to figure out what area we're in. Wait, is that right? I'm confused. Is there not a table or something to direct you? I thought there was a table for this. I guess there's not. So we're just going to roll on the domain card, right? I'm just really confused because there's no 0 through 20 on the domain card, which is why I'm so confused. Oh, it's on the wild card. Okay, I get it. Okay, so we rolled... we rolled an 18. Remains or carry on? Okay, so before I resolve that, because that does not sound good, we rolled a strong hit on our Delve the Depths. So we're going to find this opportunity before I resolve whatever these remains are. Because this is supposed to be something good. So I want to find an opportunity real quick. So when you encounter a helpful situation or feature within a site, roll on the following table. If you are making this move as a result of a strong hit on Delve the Depths, you may pick or envision an opportunity instead of rolling. Ooh, and then choose one. So we can gain insight or prepare by taking 1 momentum, or we can take action now, which allows us to add +1 to our next roll and take 1 momentum on a hit. Okay, before I decide on that, let's go ahead and go through this table. We don't have to roll on the table since it was a strong hit. We can just look through the table and choose. See, the terrain favors you. You find a hidden path. You locate a secure area. A clue offers insight or direction. This area provides an opportunity to scavenge, forage, or hunt. Ooh, you encounter a denizen who might support you. Ooh, because I had an idea in session 0, and I never went through with it because I had already had my 3 assets. But I mean, if we get to pick whatever, I think I'm gonna pick you encounter a denizen who might support you. Okay, and so okay, let's go ahead and do this. So Albrun is, he's really shaken up about those vines. He's like very paranoid because now he's realizing that the very plants themselves can like reach out and grab him. So he's being very careful as he's moving through this tanglewood. And he's just like crouched low. He has the hood on for his cloak. He has no weapon, so he does not feel very secure. And it's nighttime. And he hears a screech. Screech! Followed by some hooting. And he looks up at the trees. And on a branch high up is a great horned owl. It's a fairly large owl, and it's looking down at him because those owls, they have good night vision, so it can see him, and it clocked him. And it's just kind of looking at him with its head cocked. And Albrun kind of freezes in his tracks because Albrun understands that here in this Tanglewood, not all is as it seems. Not everything is normal. And so I think we're actually going to leverage our sighted asset here, and we are going to gather some information to detect mystic forces with this owl. So let's go ahead and do that. And so Albrun's going to look this owl in the eyes. His silver eyes to that owl's yellow eyes. That's a 3 plus... Wait a minute, sorry. We are gathering information. This is plus wits, so that's 2 plus the 1 from sighted, so that's plus 3, so that's a 6. Versus a 3 and a 9. So weak hit. We take 1 momentum, so we're up to plus 2 momentum from our sighted asset. And on a weak hit, when you gather information, the information complicates your quests or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover and take plus 1 momentum. Okay, so we're at 3 momentum. This thing is supposed to help us. That's what we chose. But this information that we're supposed to be gathering complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Okay. So I think this owl, so it cocked its head, and when we make eye contact, the owl suddenly swoops down. And these owls fly silently. The way their feathers are designed, they don't make noise when they flap their wings. So it like silently glides down, and okay, I got it. It silently glides down, and it kind of swoops at Albrun. And Albrun is probably really scared. I'm not even going to lie, guys. In real life, I have a fear of flying things in my face. I hate it when birds swoop at me. It's like a deep-rooted trauma. That's what's happening now. This owl, and this owl is large. It's a great horned owl. Its wingspan is bigger than what this camera can see. And this owl is probably, its body is probably bigger than Albrun's head. And it swoops down, and it like dives at Albrun, and it like kind of swoops away at the last minute. But Albrun's like getting down. He's like, oh my god. And I think this owl is trying to get his attention. And so we used our sighted asset. So Albrun was able to he's right now the sight is turned on, so his silver eyes are kind of glowing a little bit, and he's like looking into the veil with this owl right now. And like the aura that kind of surrounds this owl is definitely an aura of like need. Like this owl, it's not, Albrun can tell that this owl isn't trying to attack him. It's not trying to claw his eyes out or anything like that. It's trying to get his attention for something. And I think Albrun is going to be, with the sight, is going to be able to understand that this owl is trying to get him to follow it. Okay, I think we're going to go with that. And so we're going to get a little sidetracked, it seems, from our delve. And we're going to follow, and so like the owl, it like swoops, and then it's going to land on a branch that's a little lower to the ground, and it's going to look back at Albrun, and it's going to see that Albrun is like kind of following it. And so it's going to take off again, and it's going to fly, between the trees, and it's going a little slow because it knows Albrun obviously can't keep up with its speed. Okay. So we're going to follow this owl, and I think do we delve the depths here? This, because we're still in the delve site, so this isn't undertake a journey, and we're definitely leaving the area. So I think this is a delve the. I think this is a delve the depths. I think it is. Okay. Wait a minute. Didn't we pick? Wait a minute. Hold on. We had a strong hit on delve the depths, right? Yes. Wait, didn't we have a +1 from something? Hold on. We didn't secure an advantage, right? We didn't. No, we gathered information. It was a weak hit. Okay, I remember that. Did we not? Oh, find an opportunity. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Find an opportunity. I don't think we resolved that, did we? We chose from the table for the denizen to help us. That's what this owl is. But I don't think we chose between the gain insight or take action now. And so we're going to choose take action now, and we're going to add +1 to our next move and take the momentum on a hit. Yeah. I was like, I feel like we were missing something there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and delve the depths. So this definitely is not with Shadow at this point. We're not sneaking around following the owl. But I don't think we're doing it with speed either, because the owl is not flying so fast to the point that we can't keep up. So this is going to be plus wits. So we're following by observing the owl and taking our time. Okay, so this is plus wits. That's +2, +1 from find an opportunity. So this is going to be a +3 delve the depths. Okay, haha, that's a 6 on the action die, +3 is a 9 versus an 8 and a 7. Strong hit. Woo! Okay, on a strong hit, you delve deeper, mark progress, and find an opportunity. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mark some progress there. So we are now at 6 boxes on our delve site. Cool beans. And we get to find an opportunity. We don't have to roll on the table. We get to pick one. So this owl is leading us for something, right? It's leading us towards something. And we said that when we used the sight to look at the owl, this owl was in need of some sort. So I want to say that this owl... I'm looking at the find an opportunity table and seeing if there's anything that kind of pops up to me. I think what's going to happen is this owl is going to lead us to a secure location. And so we kind of still have the sight on a little bit, and we can kind of see that the mystical energy that was swirling around some of these enchanted plants and stuff is not so crazy in this clearing that this owl leads us to. So the moon is able to shine brightly in this clearing. There's not so many tree branches up above that is like blocking the light, so we aren't stumbling through the dark anymore. And we get into this clearing that is not crazy with enchantment or anything. And this owl is going to land at the bottom of a tree on the ground, and we're going to follow it, and it's like hooting at us, and we're going to follow it, and we're going to look, and at this root there's like a hole next to this root. It's kind of a deep hole, and in the hole is an owlet chick, and it's like hooting, and it can't get out of the hole, and so this owl has led us to I guess, one of its children, one of its owlets, to try to get help. And so we're going to go ahead and help this owl. I don't think we need a roll. I don't see any opportunity. I don't think this triggers any type of roll or anything. This isn't face danger or secure an advantage. So we're just going to help the owl. And so we're going to get this owlet. We're going to reach down in there, get on our hands and knees, reach down in there and scoop up the owlet with our hands like this. And the owl that led us here looks very much pleased. And I think we're going to kind of offer it. Again, this is a big owl. This is not like a small owl. This thing is huge. In fact, I would say, like, standing up, I would say this owl on the ground probably comes up to our knees. It's a big owl. And so we hand the owlet, this baby little owlet, to this great horned owl, and it's going to use its beak, I think, to, like, get the owlet. It's going to fly up on this same tree, and up there is actually a nest, I guess, where this owlet lives with its chick, and it only has one chick, I think. Or maybe it has a couple of chicks. We'll say it has two other chicks up there. And so the family's reunited. The owl was able to get its family reunited. And so that's pretty cool. So that's a deed well done for us. That's pretty cool. We're gonna, the owl is definitely distracted right now. It's definitely like kind of preening the owlet that had fell. We don't know how long it was down there in that hole. The other chicks are kind of hooting. Maybe they're hungry or something. But the owl is distracted now. We're not the focus anymore. And I think we're gonna be a little exhausted here. And we feel generally safe. Again, we looked around and we're using the sight. We can kind of tell that that this place is safe. It's free of like any type of enchantment or anything like that. And so I think this is an opportunity, because again, it's like the middle of the night at this point. I think this is an opportunity to make camp. This is a secure location. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that and roll make camp. Okay, so, oh shoot, we have to roll plus supply. So when you rest and recover for several hours in the wild, roll plus supply. It's a good thing we resupplied, because rolling that +1 on supply would have been awful. So we have +3 supply, so we're going to roll that. Okay, 6 on the action die +3 is a 9 versus a 4 and another 9. So that's a weak hit. On a weak hit, you can choose one. Recuperate, partake, relax, focus, prepare. Do we want to focus and take the momentum? I think that's what we're going to do. We can relax and take some spirit. I'm going to take the spirit, actually. So Albrun kind of goes to the edge of this clearing, takes off his pack, and, maybe starts a tiny little fire. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. This is the deep wilds. And maybe he even has like a small pelt that he can kind of use as a blanket. It's probably not large enough for like a full blanket, but just kind of use that. And he feels generally safe. And I think he's going to go ahead and try to take a rest. And as he's like laying on his back under the moon, he's going to kind of close his eyes, and he's just going to really try to recuperate and really kind of do some healing for his spirit right there. And so we're going to take that +1 spirit and go up to +3. Cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I think that is an excellent stopping point. Our film time is starting to get a little long here. So for next session, we need to try to finish this delve site and finish the journey that we're on and try to reach this elder mystic Mattick. We might have made a new friend with this owl. I think that could come later and maybe help us out a little bit. So that's pretty cool. We are at 6 out of 10 boxes on our delve site. That's pretty good. Yeah, okay. So I think that's good. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all that hoopla, and I'll see you guys later for the next session.